Today I'm going to solve Wacky Fried Egg by Katie Splendor and Little Splendor. As I understand it, Little Splendor is 4 and primarily helped with the aesthetics of this puzzle. But I think that it is super awesome that Katie is getting her kiddos to help with setting Sudoku puzzles. I have a playlist of puzzles that I've solved that were set by youngsters, so go check that out. And the first link in the description will be a link to this puzzle if you would like to try it for yourself. With that, let us have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every box. Dutch whispers. Neighbouring cells along an orange Dutch whisper line differ in value by at least 4. So if this were a 3, this could be a 7 or an 8 or a 9 to be at least 4 away from it. German whispers. Neighbouring digits along a green German whisper line differ in value by at least 5. So if this were a 3, this could only be an 8 or a 9. Region sum lines. Box borders divide blue region sum lines into segments that sum to the same value. Different region sum lines can have different values. So those two digits will be the same sum as those two digits, which will add up to this digit. Renban. Purple Renban lines contain some group of consecutive digits in any order. They also have to be unique, but that's going to be enforced anyway by the fact that they're either in a row or column or box. XV sums. Digits separated by an X sum to 10, by a V sum to 5. So those two digits will sum to 5, those two digits will sum to 10. There is no negative constraint, so these two digits could sum to 5 without any problem, and these two could sum to 10. Kropki dots. Digits separated by a white dot have a difference of 1, so they will be consecutive. Difference separated by a black dot have a ratio of 2 to 1. So let's use this one as a better example, I think. If that were a 2, that could be a 4 or a 1, so that one digit is double the other. Okay, that is all the rules. I'm going to restart the puzzle for the timer, and let's begin. Alright, firstly, digits that can go on a Kropki dot, black Kropki dot, are 1, 2, 4, and 8 is one set, and 3 and 6 is the other. So these two digits here can't be 1 and 2, because they're not 4 away from each other. Can't be 2 and 4, that's only a difference of 2. Can't be 3 and 6, that's a difference of 3, and 4 and 8 is the only option. Along here, I can do 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. I can't use 3 or 6 because I don't have a third digit that I could then place. So, but 1, 2, 4 and 2, 4, 8 both contain 2 and 4. So that now becomes an 8 because it can't be a 4. And now this has to be a 1, 2, 4 triple. That's going to be 2. That's going to be 1 and 4. So now 4 goes up here somewhere. But if 4 is there, that by Dutch whisper would be an 8 or a 9. But it can't be a 9 on a black Kropki dot, so it would have to be an 8, but then that would be a 4. So if that were a 4, that would be 8, and that would be 4. So that is not 4. So 4 is in one of those two. Can this be a 4? That clearly can without being a 6. Alright, let's have a look up here. That's a 2 or a 4, and then 1, 2, 4, or 8 in those. Actually, that can't be 4 or 8. So it's going to be 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. And there is definitely a 4 there. And definitely a 2 there. So this cannot have a 1 on it, because that would be 1, 2, 3, and I've got a 2 here. It can't have a 2 on it, because I've got a 2 here. It can't have a 3 on it, because I'd need a 2 or a 4, and 2 and 4 are both here. And it can't be a 4. So this can't be a low digit. Right. So let's talk a bit about German whispers. So I can't ever place a 5 on a German whisper, because the next digit would either have to be 0 or less or 10 or more. And then I'm going to be alternating between digits that are higher than 5 or lower than 5. If I tried making these both low digits from 1, 2, 3 and 4, the maximum difference between those is 3, and I need to have a difference of at least 5. Now we've eliminated 1, 2, 3 and 4 from this Renban, and therefore this is a high digit, 6, 7, 8 or 9. This is going to be a low digit, 1, 2, 3 or 4, and this must be a high digit, 6, 7, 8 or 9, and therefore it is not a 4. That makes that a 4, that makes that a 6. That is not 6. Okay. So this could be 7, 6, 5. But the lowest digit on here is a 5. Okay. So the yolk of our egg here. It's similar to German whispers in that, in general, you have to alternate. There is one difference, though, and that is that you can go from 1 to 5 to 9. So you can place a 5 on there as long as it has 1s and 9s as its neighbours. And it's possible, if we do that, because this has an even number of digits, we'd have to have 2 such polarity switches. So we get the same sort of alternating polarity unless we do a 1, 5, 9. So just as an example, if that were a 1 and that were a 5 and that were 9, then instead of having 2 high digits that are 2 cells away from each other on the line, they are now 3 cells away from each other. And that means that this would be high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So we've had one polarity switch. We would need another polarity switch in order to do that. So with the even number of digits in a circle like this, we'll need to have an even number of polarity switches. That doesn't necessarily mean an even number of 5s, because I could do 1, 5, 1, and I don't get a polarity switch. Okay. But that means that is from 1, 2, and 3. That is 8 or 9. Right. Where do I want to look next? Okay, that is 1, 2, 4, or 8. In fact, so is that. Because it can't be a 6. Right, these are from 1, 2, 3, and 4. That can't be 4, that can't be a 1. This is from 1 to 5. That seems like a lot. That's a lot of cells to mark. Alright. Let's have a look here. That's 1, 2, or 3 because it can't be a 4, so that's 2, 3, or 4. Okay, I can't place 9 on this Renban because I'll need an 8. So 9 is in one of those two. I can't make this Renban 1, 2, 3 because that would break both of those cells. I can't have a 4 on it. So this has to be 5, 6, 7 because I can't use 8. And this can't be a 5 because it is on the German Whisper. So that is a 1 or a 2. It's the only possible option there. That makes this a high digit, which would be 6, 8, or 9. Sorry, 6, 7, or 9. I thought it right in my head, and then I typed and said the wrong thing. So, if that's 5, 6, 7 triple, this is 1, 2, 3, 9. But it is not a 1 or a 2 there. Okay, so this digit is 5, 6, or 7. So if this is 1, this is 4, 5, or 6. But it couldn't be 4 because we know that the 4 would be here if this is a 1. So if that's a 1, we get 5 or 6. If this is 2, two plus 3 is 5. So it could be a 3. 2 plus 4 we couldn't do. 2 plus 5 would be 7. So that's our options for that digit, 2, 5, or 6. And in fact, it can't be a 6 because we already have a 6 in the row. So 2 and 3 would be 5. 2 and 5 would be 7. 1 and 5 would be 6. Okay, all the options are still available to us. But these two now add up to 5, 6, or 7. Without a 2 or a 4. So I have two digits. So I could do 6, 1, which would force that. Right, can I get to 5? 2, 3, and 1, 4. No. So that can't be a 5. That's simple. And the only way we would get into 5 is with that with a 3. So that is now 5, and then we get 5, 1, 6, or 5, 2, 7. So we're now looking at 6 or 7. 6 would be 1, 4, sorry, 1, 5. Can't use the 2, 4 option. 7 could be 1, 6. 2, 5. Can't be 2, 5 because of the 2 that's on here. 3, 4. Can't be the 3, 4 because of the 4 that's on here. So we either have 1, 6 or 1, 5, and this one can't be a 1 because of the Renban. So that is a 1. That is 5 or 6. That makes this 2, 4, and 8. And now that is not 8. That must be a 7 because I can't get down to 6 if that's a 9. So that's a 7. I can't do 6, 7, 8 because of this 8. So that is a 5 or 6. Right, this is no longer a 1. In fact, that is 4 and that is a 1. We have a 6, 7 pair here, so that's a 5. So we have a 5 in one of those two. If this is a 7, that can't be 3 or 4. Okay, so now this can't be a 1 because if that were a 1, that would be a 2 and that would have no fill. So there's definitely a 4 on here in one of those two. Okay. Along this line, the lowest digit I can have is a 5. If that was 6, 5, and 7, because the 4 is stopping any lower digit. So these are from 5, 7, 8, or 9. And that one is not a 5. And that one is not an 8. So I could still have 6, 7, and 5. Okay, that's interesting. Where does 6 go in this row? It must go in one of those two, which means that is not 6. And if I don't have a 6 on the line, I can't have a 5 on the line. So now this is a 7, 8, 9 line. So if there's no 5s, 5, 1, 9, so that'd be high, low, high, low, high. So that could be a 6 if there's no polarity change. Okay. So 5 in this box goes in one of those two by sudoku. 6 goes up there by sudoku. What can go on this line? On this X, sorry. I can't have 4, 6 or 7, 3. So that is either 9, 1, which would have to go 9 and 1, or it is 2, 8. In fact, I can't put 2, 8 because that one can be neither. So that is in fact 9 and 1, which makes that 2. That is no longer 9. So 9 is in one of those two. That 1 and 2 removes a 2 from here, which removes 3 from there. Okay, so if this is 3, then that would be 2 and this would be 4. If this is 4, that would be 1 and this would be 3 or 5. Okay. This plus this equals this. Right, if that were 5, that could not be 9, because that would be 5, that would be 4, and then that would have no fill. Could be 5 and 3, or 5 and 2. No, it couldn't be 2, because of this. So if that were 5, then that would be 3, and that would be 8. If this were 4, that would be 3. So that couldn't be 7. If it were 4, that couldn't be 4 for 8, so that would be 5 to make 9. And if this were 3, that would be 4. So that couldn't be 4. So this is never 7. I could do 3 and 5, that would be 4. Could do 3 and 6 to make that 9. So I think that's all my options there. By sudoku, one of those two is a 9. Okay. Where do 1 and 2 go in this box? And they don't go there. And they can't go next to each other on the line, so they must be there. So I can't put a 5 there anyway, so that is 6, 7, not 7, that is 6 or 9. Oh, except I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple in the box, so that is a 6. And the 1, 2 fits with that. That means that is not 2. In fact, this 2 tells me that that's not 2, and this is a 4, 8 pair. I should have seen that ages ago. That means that 4 is not in any of those, so 4 is in one of those two, which means that's not a 4. So 3, 6, 9, 3, 5, 8, 5, 3, 8. That all still works. This digit here is not a 6. From the row, it is 3, 7, or 9. But it sees 7, 8, 9 here, so that's a 3. That means that this is a 5, and that is no longer 5. So, and it's also no longer 3, that's a 6. That makes that 3, that makes that 9, and we can then resolve the 7 and the 8. This must be 4, and this is 1. Okay, these two digits add up to 9. Two digits that add up to 9 must include a digit from 1 to 4. And we already have 1, 4, and 3 taken, so it must be 2 with a 7. That can't be a 2 by sudoku, so that's the 2, that's the 7. That means that this digit is either 8 with a 9 there, or it is 8 with a 6 there, or it is 5 with a 6 there. So that is 8 or 5. So these four digits are from 6, 9, 5, and 8. That can't be a 5 on an X. It can't be a 9 because of the 9 up here. So that is 6 or 8. If that's 6, then that's 4, which it can't be. So that is an 8. That is a 2. That makes this 5 and this 6. And we get a 9 over here. So that's not 6. This becomes a 1. That does not resolve this. This is no longer a 2, so this cannot be a 3. Well, this is a 9 by the row. One and 2 are in this column, so that's a 3. That gives me a 1, 2 in the row. All right. So I can't place a 5 on here because of this 5, and so we are doing high and low on our Dutch whisper. So that means that this is a high digit and not a 6 or 8, so that is 7 or 9. This must be a low digit, which could be 1 or 3. It can't be a 4, but it does mean that this is the 8 and this is a 4. So these three digits are 5, 3, and 8. Well, that's going to be the 3 from the row. That's a 5, 8 pair. I don't think I know yet. Okay, I also can't put a 5 here because the 5 is there. So these are also going to follow high and low. So that is 3 or 4. This must be 7 or 9. I can't put a 6 there because that would be too far away. So that would be too close. Got a 3, 4 pair in the row. Okay, these two digits are from 5, 8, and 2. So the 2 goes there. That is 5 or 8. This digit should be known as 7. Yep. That places a 7 here and a 5 here. And this is 3 or 4, which gives me a 3, 4 pair in the column. So these are from 1, 2, 6, and 7. And that one is not a 2. Or a 6. This 2 makes this a 1. And these two digits are 3 and 9. Looks like, yeah. That's not a 2. This is a 6 or a 7. Okay, if this is a 1, that's a 3, that's a 7. Oh, they're 4 apart, so that still can work. In fact, this can work with either of those digits. I can't work with that. If that's a 4, that can't be a 7. In fact, that can't be a 7 by sudoku. So that must be 9. That makes this 9. This is 5 or 8. In fact, must be where the 5 goes. That's an 8. That 5 makes this 8. This is 5. This is 8. So we have 3, 4, 1, and 6 to place. Okay, that's a 1. That 1 means that that's a 3. That makes that 4. So this is 3, this is 4, this is 2. That's 1, that's 2. These two digits are now 6 and 3, and I don't think I can place those just yet. This 3 makes this 9 and this 3. That 1 means that that is not a 1. That's the 1. Gives me a 6, 7 pair here. So 7 is not there. That is 7. And then these are 2, 4, 9. That's the 9. That's the 2. That's the 4. Okay. These 3 digits are from 6, 7, 5, and 9. So that's where the 9 goes. So these are from 5, 6, and 7. So that is 5 or 6. That's from 5, 6, or 7. That gives me a 5, 6 pair here, which makes this, the missing digit, an 8. And these two digits are from 6, 7, and 3. Okay. Let me just verify that I have... that's what I'm missing. So this is 5 and 2, which makes this a 7. And that means that this is a 6. And that, I'm sure, will resolve everything. That's a 5. That's a 5. That 7 makes this 6. 7 and 6. 6 is not in those, so that's a 6. That cannot be 6 or 7, so that's now 3. That's the 7. That's the 3. And that is the 6. That is a wonderful puzzle. Thank you very much, Katie Splendor and Little Splendor, for setting it. I hope that Little Splendor enjoyed setting it and enjoyed seeing their puzzle solved. And I hope that you continue to set more puzzles to the point that you become a well-respected setter in the community. I think we would all enjoy that. All right, well, if you enjoyed this solve, then please hit the like button. If you would like to see more of this, then please subscribe. And I'd love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.